My professional life is dedicated to helping organisations become more adaptable. But a few months ago, just as the world was going into its initial lockdown, my own adaptability was tested to the limit with the news that I had cancer. Now, I was lucky on a couple of counts. Firstly, they diagnosed it early, and secondly, the type of cancer that I had, which was in my tonsils. I mean, who even knew that was a thing, right? Meant that my own prognosis was really about as good as it gets. And that quite made up for the fact that when they'd taken my tonsils out a couple of weeks earlier, no one had offered me ice cream. It seems that I'd missed that qualifying age limit by a few decades, but I'm not bitter. As I sat in the radiotherapy clinic day after day, the atmosphere of doom and gloom that I had fully expected actually turned out to be more like an air of quiet determination. And I was struck by the fact that I didn't hear one word, I didn't see one expression that said, "Woe is me." From the young lady who didn't hide her hair loss to the older gentleman who looked too frail to withstand even a light breeze, let alone fight for his life. It seemed that everybody, when they'd been given that same bad news that I'd been given, their reaction had been, well, that's it then, let's get on with this. So to all you leaders of change, if you really want to see just how adaptable people can be, get yourself down to a radiotherapy clinic for a visit. Because of course it's very easy to see the need to embrace change when your life, your future depends on you standing up and poking the Grim Reaper in the eye with his own scythe. Never trust a man wearing a hoodie. When we embrace change, we have to step outside of our comfort zone, and that by definition is an uncomfortable thing to do, of course. And that is the course of change very often, that things feel like they have to get worse before they get better. And I can tell you that's certainly the case when you're being treated for cancer. I had no full appreciation for just how useful my throat was until it had been bombarded with x-rays for a few weeks. In the darkest days of my treatment, breathing was about the only thing my throat could do. I couldn't swallow, so I couldn't eat, and I lost my voice. And when my jaw started to seize up, the only toothbrush that I could fit in my mouth was one designed for a toddler. But at least it came with zebra stripes and a sucker on the end so you could stick it to the wall. Talk about silver lining. Radiotherapy gave me sunburn all over my neck without any of the fun of being in the sun. So under doctor's orders, I was told to moisturise at least twice a day, not something I was used to doing. Well, I thought, if I'm going to die young, at least I'm going to die looking even younger. And as I had that gallows humour thought materialise in my mind, it triggered the thought of an idea of a goal that would help me practice what I preach to my clients. Because I decided to use cancer as a catalyst to help me emerge even stronger, mentally and physically, than I was before I was diagnosed. And that illustrates a great superpower about the adaptable mindset. It can see even negative change as an opportunity to make a positive difference. And it's more this than just about being resilient. Resilience is defined as the ability to bounce back. Adaptability, on the other hand, is all about having the ability to bounce higher. And I reckon that that's the way that we should approach not just our fight for life, but the way we live our life too. Because as COVID-19 has demonstrated so brilliantly, our lives are becoming increasingly unpredictable. And complexity and uncertainty are just part of the air that we breathe these days, are they not? Our lives are defined by change. If we want to embrace life, we have to embrace change. So I reckon that the more adaptable that we can become, the more likely it is that we'll discover that whatever happens to us, good or bad, the darkest hour is before the dawn. And for me, that dawn was this morning when I was given the all clear from the hospital. Woohoo! But what about tomorrow? Well, who knows? All I can do, all any of us can do, I believe, is develop the kind of mindset that is already ready for anything. The kind of mindset that can say, well, that's it then, let's get on with this. Because that mindset is the difference between enjoying and enduring a life of change that surely lies ahead for us all. My heartfelt thanks to the NHS for world-class care, and thanks to you for watching. Stay safe.